Hello students, today we are dealing with class 12th biology, human reproduction part 2nd. In this topic we will deal with female reproductive system. The female reproductive system is found in the lower part of abdomen, which is called pelvic region. It has a pair of ovaries, which are the glands, a pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix and vagina. Now the oviducts, uterus, cervix and vagina, they are the accessory ducts. They help in transport of gametes. And external genitalia, which is the external reproductive part. It also includes a pair of mammary glands or milk glands, which help to provide nourishment to the child after delivery. Now the first part is ovaries. So they are located one on each side of lower abdomen, one on the right side and one on the left side. They are primary female sex organs. So they are the main reproductive organs. They have two functions. The first is production of female gamete or ovum, which is also called egg. It is the female gamete and it also produces many steroid hormones. So hormones which are steroidal in nature, like estrogen, progesterone. In this figure we can see the various reproductive parts of the female. So there is uterus, then there is the clitoris, it is the external genitalia. Then labium minora, it is the internal part, fold of skin. Then there is external part which is called labium majora, it covers the labium minora. Then there is vaginal orifice, which is the opening of the vagina. Then cervix, cervix is the upper part. Cervix leads into vagina. So these are the parts which are shown here. This is the sectional view of female pelvis. Now the female reproductive system, ovary has 2 to 4 centimeter length and it is connected to the wall of pelvis internally and uterus by ligament. So ligaments are connective tissue. Each ovary is covered by a thin epithelium, thin layer, and the inside structure is called stroma. So inside the ovary tissue is called stroma. Stroma has two zones. The peripheral or outer layer is called cortex and the inner part is called medulla. The oviducts, uterus and vagina form female accessory ducts. The next part is oviducts or fallopian tubes. So each tube is 10 to 12 centimeter long and it extends from periphery of each ovary to uterus. So this tube reaches from ovary to the uterus. It is a long tube. Now the oviduct has different parts. The part closer to ovary, the end of the tube which is closer to ovary, it is funnel shape or triangular and it is called infundibulum. The edges of infundibulum have finger-like projections or structures called fimbriae and they help in collection of egg after ovulation. So when the ovary releases the egg, it is collected by fimbriae. The infundibulum leads to a wider part. So the infundibulum leads to a part which is broader and it is called ampulla. The last part is called isthmus, which is very narrow. It has a narrow cavity and it joins with the uterus. So there is infundibulum, then ampulla and then isthmus. Here we can see the diagrammatic section of female reproductive system. So first there is ovary, right ovary and left ovary. Then after ovary we can see infundibulum. It has fimbriae, then ampulla, then isthmus, then uterus or uterine cavity. Upper part is called uterine fundus, then cervix, then cervical canal and vagina. The cervical canal and vagina, they are called birth canal because they help in childbirth. Now the wall of the uterus has three layers. Outer layer is perimetrium, middle is myometrium and inner is endometrium. The zygote will connect to the endometrium, while the myometrium is muscular and it will contract and relax and help in delivery of the child. The fallopian tube, as we can see, it has three parts: infundibulum, ampulla and isthmus. So this diagram is very important from point of view of examination. Then we can see uterus. So uterus is single and also called a womb. It is pear shaped. So pear means broad at the upper part and narrow at the lower part. It is also supported by ligaments and it is attached to the wall of pelvis. The uterus opens into vagina, as we just saw, through a narrow cervix. So first uterus, then cervix, then vagina. Cavity of cervix is also called cervical canal. Now the cervical canal and vagina, they form birth canal. The uterus has three layers. This we just saw. Perimetrium, it is the external and thin membrane. Myometrium, the middle thick layer of smooth muscles. It is strongly contracts during delivery of baby, so it helps during parturition or childbirth. Endometrium is the inner layer which is glandular. So it is glandular. It can produce secretions and it helps in attachment of zygote. It undergoes cyclical changes during menstrual cycle. So it is periodically replaced so that zygote can be properly attached. The external genitalia has mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora. These are the layers. Hymen, it is a thin membrane, and clitoris. It is a finger-like structure which is homologous or similar to penis of male. The mons pubis, it is a cushion or thick structure made of fatty tissue. It is covered by skin and hair, pubic hair. Labia majora, these are also fleshy or thick folds of tissue. They extend down from mons pubis, so they are below mons pubis and they surround the vaginal opening. So labia majora surround vaginal opening. The labia minora, they are paired folds of tissue, so they are also folds under the labia majora. Hymen, so it is the opening of vagina is covered partially by a membrane, so this membrane is called hymen. Now when the first coitus or intercourse takes place, often it is seen that hymen is torn, but it can also be broken by sudden fall or jolt. Jolt means jerk, or insertion of a vaginal tampon or an apparatus which is used inside the vagina. Active participation in sports, so while cycling or riding a horse, also this membrane can be torn. In some women, it is seen that hymen persists even after coitus. So in some women, even after coitus, the hymen remains. So we can say that the presence or absence of hymen is not a indicator of sexual experience or virginity. So it is not a test that hymen is present or it is not present. It tells us about sexual experience. This is false. Clitoris is a finger-like structure at the upper junction of two labia majora. So this finger-like structure is at the upper junction of labia majora above the urethral opening. Here we can see a mammary gland. Now the mammary gland is made up of fatty tissue. It has mammary lobes. So many mammary lobes are there. Each mammary lobe has alveolus or many bag-like structures. These alveolus open through mammary ducts. Mammary ducts finally open into ampulla or a broad part, which again combines to form lactiferous duct through which milk is sucked out. The part which is in the front, it is called areola, and the milk glands are found in the thoracic region or chest region. We can see the ribs, muscles between ribs, and muscles, pectoralis major muscle. The mammary glands or breast, as they are called, they are paired structures having glandular tissue and fat. So they have glands as well as fat. The tissue of each breast has 15 to 20 mammary lobes. So each breast has 15 to 20 lobes, each containing alveoli or cluster of cells. Alveoli cells secrete milk, which are stored in the lumen of alveoli or in the cavity of alveoli. They open into mammary tubules. So alveoli open into small tubules. The tubule of each lobe join to form mammary duct. So many tubules finally join to form a duct, and the mammary ducts join to form another wider duct called ampulla, which finally reaches out through lactiferous duct, and it is the part through which milk is sucked out. So these were the parts of the female reproductive system. Thanks.